Hey, are you a digital nomad, early retiree, or a slow traveler like us, and you're looking for an affordable destination to check out? Well, today we're going to be sharing with you what you can expect to budget for spending time of a month or more in Hua Hin, Thailand.
Welcome to the Nomadic Abundance Podcast, slow travel tips and inspiration for living a more abundant life abroad. If you're a digital nomad, a part-time expat, or a full-time travel couple like us, we're going to be going over the cost of living for Hua Hin, Thailand.
Yeah, so if you've been following along, you know that Thailand has been on our bucket list for quite a while. And we recently got a chance to do that this last year. So we've actually been slow traveling now for over 5 years. And that's something that you're interested in. Be sure to check out our newsletter. It's free to subscribe to. We've got weekly tips as well as news and things like that about slow travel.
Hua Hin is located about 3.5 hours by car southwest of Bangkok on the Gulf of Thailand, and it is in the Phra Chua, Kirikan province. So we spent 3 months living in Hua Hin. We spent November, December, and January living there. So all of our costs are based during our stay there, which is also high season, and that coincides with the coolest months there and also the driest.
So our total cost of living estimates are going to be based on accommodations, food, and local transportation. And those won't include other things like SIM cards or mobile phones or anything like that. We will talk about that, but that's not going to be included in our basic budget. Now, all of the information that we're talking about is based on our own personal experiences, as well as research that we've done. And of course, since we're slow traveling, our costs are going to be a little bit higher than, of course, someone who's like a traditional expat or a local who's living there for a long time.
All right, so let's start with transportation. And first we're going to talk about trains. There is a train system in Thailand. It's not very extensive, but it can take you, from kind of, I guess, city to city. And there's also trains in Bangkok too. But we took the train from Bangkok all the way down to Hua Hin, and it was about a 4-hour ride down there. We would recommend booking first or second class so that you at least have a fan and air conditioning. It can get quite hot. We also would recommend booking your tickets in advance. There aren't a lot of schedules that go down to Hua Hin. It is a little bit limited, and they do sell out really quickly. We booked third class tickets, and it was okay. You're going to be sitting on a bench, so it's maybe not the most comfortable. It was actually pretty reasonable. It was 94 baht, so that is about $2.77 each.
So once you do get to Hua Hin, you're going to need to get around. And there, of course, are a couple ways you can do that. Walking, which is one that we like to do. Also taking ride shares, grabbing taxis, tuk-tuks, or even the bot buses as well. Now, as far as ride shares are concerned, they're actually pretty reasonably priced to get around the city. The ones that we like to use are Grab and Bolt, and it'll take you pretty much anywhere you need to go. And you actually have two options with that. You can get different size vehicles, two-person vehicles, 7-person vehicles, all that, or you can even do motorcycles too. So as far as costs are concerned, you can expect to pay somewhere between $2 and $4 to get, maybe halfway across town or maybe even a little further depending on, what time of day you're going. And that's going to be in a car, and a motorcycle is going to cost you about half that. And if you haven't ridden on the back of a motorcycle, it's a fun experience. Maybe terrifying at first, but you get used to it. And it's also super affordable. It was like, I think $1 to $3 for me to get around pretty much like halfway across town. So highly recommend that. So another way to get around Hua Hin is by using one of the bot buses. Those are called Song Taos, and they're basically like pickup trucks with a covering on the back and like a bench. And you'll see people like just literally like stuffed full in these things because they're very popular. Like people like kind of hanging on the outside. But there's basically two kinds you can get. There's the official ones, which are the green ones, and then there's all the other private ones, which kind of operate more like a taxi. Now, the green ones, they run up and down Pet Kasaim Road, which is really easy to get one. You just wave them down. They've got kind of preset schedules and routes. And then once you get on, you pay your 15 to 20 baht per person for the ride, and it's about 40 something to 60 cents per person. And then when you get off, you just hit the button on the roof, and the driver will pull over, and you can hop right off.
Hua Hin is a fairly walkable city. You will be dodging a lot of cars, motorbikes, people, food carts, so it can be a little chaotic. There's not really any sidewalks in Hua Hin except for the main road that runs north and south, so kind of up along the water. That is the Pet Kasiem Road. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're coming to Thailand, and yeah, welcome to Asia.
So next, let's talk a little bit about food and dining, and we'll start off with groceries. If you're trying to save money while you're in Hua Hin, and even if you're not, we definitely recommend considering buying fresh fruits and vegetables at some of the stands that you'll find along the side of the road. Sometimes they're like underneath. There's actually a couple of them that are really good places. Where underneath the raised train track, and then you can also get them from like street carts as well, and you can find prepared foods and cooked foods there too. Now, if you're looking for kind of more Western style foods, you can definitely find those in the grocery stores. There's like Lotus, Big C, or Tops, but you also be prepared to pay just a little bit more money for those too. Another option, which is one of our favorite options, is like some of the little markets as well, including 7-Elevens, which are awesome. They're great for buying snacks, drinks, ice, things like that. Maybe what?
Any kind of like toiletries or stuff.
Yeah, so
if you want to get that.
Bug spray, which you definitely gonna want some of that too.
Yeah.
And of course, like in Thailand, we typically eat breakfast at home, and then we might only go out for maybe once or twice a week for breakfast. That's just kind of like how we like to do stuff. And then for lunches and dinners, we generally either go out or we just order something on the Grab app. Now, as far as if you do what we do and eat breakfast, maybe like snacks and things like that at home, and maybe do those lunches and dinners out or via the Grab app, you can expect to spend around $200 to $250 a month on groceries for a couple, and about half that price, maybe 100, 125-ish per person if you're like maybe a solo traveler. Now, of course, in this example of groceries, we're talking about like breakfast might look like yogurts, maybe cereal and milk, fruits, snacks like banana chips and little candy bars and all of the yummy stuff like that. And then also like drinks, including like sodas and juices, maybe some energy drinks, and the occasional beer in there as well. Of course, your mileage is going to vary depending on kind of your personal preference and eating habits.
Okay, so let's talk about our favorite part, and that is eating out at restaurants. And the food did not disappoint in Thailand.
No.
We absolutely loved the food. It was amazing. So during our 3-month stay in Thailand, we actually didn't cook once. And you can kind of, if you want to see why, we spent our first 2 months in a micro studio apartment where we didn't really have a kitchen and like no appliances or anything to cook. So we had to eat out. And we have heard from other people that it is actually cheaper to eat out than to buy a lot of groceries. And we did find that to be true.
Pretty close to the same price.
Yeah, we found that to be true for us. So we averaged about $10 a meal for both of us, and that includes tax and tip. At higher end restaurants, you can probably expect to pay around $22 to $30, and that's for 2 people, and that's with a drink each. Another really great way to experience the food in Thailand is going to the night markets and also visiting some of the local markets there. So don't miss out on eating at those places. There's tons of food carts everywhere. That's just kind of part of their culture. And it's a good way for you to just experience all of the different kinds of foods in Thailand. There's also plenty of cute cafes where they serve smoothies, lots of tea drinks, coffee, So in coffees, usually average about $1.50 to $2 for a latte or a cappuccino.
If you're like us and you're seeking a better quality of life, maybe due to some of the high costs back at home, which seem to keep increasing and increasing, or maybe just you got a sense of adventure and you just want to see the world, then be sure to grab your copy of our ebook, Escape the USA, How to Start Traveling and Live Overseas. In the book, we provide a blueprint to help prepare you for a life of full-time or even part-time travel based on our own experiences. And there's also a discount code in the book for our Nomadic Abundance membership for when you're ready to start your journey into the slow travel lifestyle.
Next up is accommodations, and we know that is probably one of the biggest expense for most people. So when you are planning your budget for Hua Hin, you'll have to base it on kind of where you want to be and also how long you're going to be staying. So if you're just coming for a short stay, there are hotel options, of course, and we found hotels for as low as $45 a night all the way up to about $115 a night for a luxury 5-star hotel. You can also look at hostels, and those are probably a good option for a solo traveler. You can meet a lot of people that way and also get kind of more of a sense of community. Though I don't know if they're the best for like if you're traveling, with a partner. So yeah, you can check that out. And for prices for hostels, there's a couple in Hua Hin, and we found ranging from about $8 to $16 for a dormitory style room, and then $10 to $20 for a private room with a shared bathroom.
For the best savings, you're going to be signing leases of at least 3 months or longer. That includes furnished and unfurnished apartments. For instance, in Hua Hin, you can get a 1-bedroom, 1-bath furnished apartment for a short-term rent for between $500 and $800 per month. And that's going to be something maybe like in the center of town. If you're booking on Airbnb, you can definitely expect to pay on the higher end of that price range. But again, some of those Airbnbs might include your utilities, and then we found some that also don't.
So keep in mind, Hua Hin is a beach resort town, so you're going to pay higher pricing during the high season, which is the months that we were there, which coincides with winter. So yeah, basically about mid-November all the way through February. We also suggest that you look at other platforms. You can contact local real estate agencies. You can also go through property management companies and also private owners if you plan on staying for a month or longer. We've also had success on finding properties through Facebook groups. So you can just go, type in Hua Hin into the Facebook group or the marketplace, and properties will come up there as well. Also, don't forget to check out booking.com. You can actually find stays on there for, I think, just under 90 days. And then also on hotels.com, you can find stays on there for up to 28 days. And we'll leave links in the description below if you want to check those out.
So now that we've gone over all the main costs, we're going to give you a couple examples of some of the other costs you will definitely probably incur when you're in Hua Hin, starting with mobile phone and data. Obviously, everybody needs that these days. And probably your best bang for your buck is going to be a local SIM card. That's going to be a physical SIM card. They're very reasonably priced, and you can also get local calling minutes too, which can come in handy. Now, as far as those physical SIM cards, the most popular and easiest ones you can find at 7-Eleven, and they're basically the tourist SIMs, and that's the True Move H. And for that one, you can get like 30 gigabytes of data for about $5.68. So another option you've got are eSIMs, and if your phone's eSIM capable, which most are, you can just buy those ahead of time and even like turn them on as soon as you land, which is really great because you don't have to worry about trying to get a SIM card. You also don't have to worry about doing taking your passport and standing in line at a store or anything else. And here are a few to consider. First up is Airlo. For instance, you can get an Airlo eSIM for about $6 US, and that gives you 3 gigs, and it's good for 30 days. Now, of course, if you're using a lot of data, then you definitely want to consider eSIM. For $34, you get about 30 days of unlimited data, and it also gives you a local phone number in Thailand as well, which is very cool. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about eSIMs and specifically the ones that we've been using, I've been posting reviews on the channel that you can check out. Also, there'll be a video on the channel too, sharing some of the best eSIMs that we found in Thailand. I'll also put a link in the description that'll take you to a page where you can look at all of the different eSIMs that we've used, and also includes some discount codes that'll help you out. So now let's talk about some like entertainment and things to do when you're in Hua Hin. Obviously, if you're into nightlife or maybe just enjoying a few drinks out on the town, Hua Hin offers a ton of options for you that are very affordable too. Now, as far as cost-wise, drinks in Hua Hin are going to cost you around $1.80 to $3 for like a beer, and then like a glass of wine is going to run you somewhere between $3.50 to $6. Now, bars and restaurants on the water or near the beach are going to, of course, cost a little bit more. So if you're wanting to save a few bucks, just as long as you get away from the touristy areas, even just a few blocks will save you quite a bit of money, even though it's really not that much money in the first place. But you can definitely save money that way. So one other thing about Thailand is they recently legalized marijuana use, and you can, for recreation, and you can actually find stores and lounges kind of all over Thailand, and even so in Hua Hin. The prices are actually quite affordable if you're into that sort of thing, and quite a bit cheaper than the United States. If you are looking for recommendations of those types of places, we actually have some in our Hua Hin Quick Start Guide, along with all the other things that you need to know in order to get kind of settled into Hua Hin, whether you're visiting for a week or even staying for several months. It also is packed full of resources and links too.
All right, next up, we're going to talk about just a couple of things to do in Hua Hin and just give you kind of an idea of what you can budget while you're there. There are actually a lot of free things to do. Like we said, it's a resort town, so it's right on the beach. So you can take lots of walks on the beach. You can go swimming. You can watch the kite surfers. You can also visit Monkey Mountain. And it's where actually a giant golden Buddha is, and it has really good views of Hua Hin. Is monkeys there. Just don't feed them and don't get too close to them. They can be aggressive. You can also go to the Kowtow Reservoir. That has a lot of walking trails around it and also some restaurants there by the water. And there's also plenty to do in Hua Hin and outside of the city. You can learn how to kite surf. The one-day courses are going to be about $120 if you're interested in that. There's lots of golf in the area. There's 8 different golf courses, and you can expect to pay around $45 to $120 for 18 holes, and that all depends on kind of where you go. You can also visit the Wana Nawa Water Jungle, which is a water park. So that's a great place to take families. And it is $35.41 per person. And you can also go to the Praia Nakhon Cave, which is in the Khao Samroya National Park. And that is about a 1-hour drive south of Hua Hin. And we actually did that experience, and it was really, really cool.
In fact, there's a video you can check out.
Yeah, you can watch the video.
Give it some love, because no one's watching it, and it's a lot of fun.
So tickets to enter the park are $5.90, and we booked a pickup truck to take us there and back, and that was $41. If you're looking for more activities to do, we'll leave links in the description below. Those are going to be found through Get Your Guide and also Viator.
So now, before we get into the totals, we just want to ask that you like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out way more than you know. And also, if you've learned something from this episode and you want to help support the channel in another way, you can always buy us a glass of wine, which we promise to drink. And also, or you can check out our membership over at nomadicabundance.com. Your support, however you do it, really helps us out a ton, and it helps us to continue to make these kind of videos in order to help you learn how to live a more abundant life traveling abroad.
All right, so let's go over our estimated monthly costs. So overall, we estimate that monthly basic costs for living as nomads or full-time travelers like us for 2 people are going to be around $1,700 to $1,900 a month. So that includes your short-term rent, eating out 2 times a day, groceries, and also local transportation. And just keep in mind, this is on the higher end of costs. So if you're looking on Airbnb or Booking or hotels, we think those are pretty much in line with those costs that we estimate.
Right, and so if you're looking for like more budget travelers, You can expect to pay between $1,500 and $1,700 or more, depending on lifestyle, of course, for a little bit more affordable accommodations that are maybe booked off platforms, like not on Airbnb or something like that. And if you're a solo traveler, you can expect to spend somewhere between $800 and $1,000, believe it or not, for more of your basic costs again. And again, that's also going to depend heavily on accommodation types. Two other things that we didn't include are some kind of travel medical insurance or even like a VPN in order to help kind of keep your data and your banking safe while you're traveling. You can find links in the description to the ones that we've used and that we recommend if you want to kind of see if those would be a good fit for you.
Based on our experience, we think Hua Hin can be a really affordable, budget-friendly destination. And we actually really enjoyed living in Hua Hin for those 3 months. We really loved Thailand, and we will definitely be going back. So we hope this helps give you a good idea of kind of the basic costs of what you can expect when you're traveling in Thailand, and specifically to Hua Hin as a digital nomad, a full-time traveler like us, or even if you're retired.
So everybody's budgets are going to be a little bit different, and you can certainly spend a lot more money or less, even, believe it or not, if you're staying long-term. Anyways, as always, you can find links in the description to all the stuff we talked about. And again, if you learned anything from this episode, or if you think we missed something, give us a little message in the comments. A nice one, please. Anyways, happy wandering.
Happy wandering. If you're a digital nomad, maybe a part-time expat, or a full-time traveler like us.
Start that again.
And we're the Wandering Hartz, and we're helping you live a more abundant life by living abroad.
Yeah, so if you want to do that, okay, sorry.
The Prachua Kirikan. Okay.
Okay, let's try it.
All right.
Okay, all right. So first up, all over the top. Okay. So first up, okay. So today we're going to be talking about, first we're going to talk about taxis and ride shares. Now furnished rentals are going to, you can find furnished rentals that will give you, you can find furnished rentals that will include things.
So we hope this helps give you kind of a better idea of how to budget for your time in Thailand, and also specifically if you're going to go be visiting. Okay. So we hope this helps you. So we hope this helps you give an idea of what, oh my God, why can't I get this out? Idea of your basic costs. Okay.
Helps give you an idea.
Yes.